All right, let's get to some picks here. The Patriots are favored by 3. Cynthia, who wins?
Patriots by 2, 25-23. Spags defense. You know those Giants teams. I referenced that from earlier, but ultimately they're going to have something special for them. They've been circling this calendar. Both teams.
Both sides. Okay, I'm going with the Chiefs, and I think they get the W in Foxborough for the same reason I mentioned. I think the defense just doesn't do well with this amount of dynamic players because they're a little older. But we'll see how that ages.
I have the Patriots winning by 1. I think the running game gets going. I just love this matchup. I just think we should appreciate it. Like, this is the best defensive coach of the last 2 decades, really ever, in Belichick, against the best offensive coach of the last 2 decades. And they've come up against each other a lot of times, and usually it's Andy Reid's team that makes some mistake at the end and doesn't win.
So we both actually think the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Saints are favored by 3 at home, Cynthia. What's the model say?
Saints 24-23, so a 1-point narrow Saints victory.
You're really
Very
not
close.
making big stands this week. It's like 1 or 2 points. I see what you're doing.
The model does what the model does. I can't control it.
All right, well, tell the model I apologize. I'm going with the 49ers. I think this defense is very stout up front. Like you talked about, it's going to be hard for the Saints to establish the run, which is going to limit the pass. So I'm going with the 49ers specifically because of that front seven.
I love it. I'm taking the 49ers too. I think they're more battle tested.
Just me.
They've been in a lot of these big games. Packers, and Ravens, and Seahawks. The Saints haven't played a team this good. I think 49ers win.
All right.
It's still Drew Brees.
Ravens are favored by 5.5 on the road. Cynthia, what do you got?
6-point win, 27-21 in this one. Just not enough of an answer for those heavier sets with multiple tight ends. Even though they have good line, even though the Bills defense is awesome, and I have a lot of nice things to say about the Bills. I'm not a Bills hater, contrary to Twitter.
You're trying to keep Bills Mafia away from. I see what you did, but ultimately you're choosing them to lose at home.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going with the Ravens too, and it's not because of Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is great, but there are way too many elements to this Ravens team. Like, they are good in every facet at every position. So I think they get the W. Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, I think the Ravens do win going away. And it's no disrespect. It's the fact this Ravens team, I think, is one of the greatest teams I've ever covered, I've ever seen.
Wow.
Metrics for a regular season team, they are one of the greats of the last 20 years. So they're going to win games like this.
There you go. One of the best teams, not just of this decade, the last 2 decades. The Seahawks are favored by 1. Cynthia, what do you got?
Upset. Rams 24-23, 1-point Rams victory at home.
The model's going with the Rams.
The model likes the Rams.
All right.
I like it when the model gets frisky, goes with an upset. It's just like, who knows?
All right, well, I'm going with the Seahawks myself for the same reason that I feel like I say literally every single week.
Russell Wilson.
It's going to be a close game.
Got it.
And I'm not betting against Russell Wilson, but you know what? It's always right. He does what he has to do late in games to get his team over the hump. Also, my favorite mic'd up of all time.
Really? Why?
I loved it. They called it cringeworthy. Every part. It's the most encouraging thing I've ever heard.
What about when all of his receivers are celebrating? He's kind of like, hey guys, I'm over here.
Slap
hey
hands.
guys, did you?
Slap hands.
What did he say? Positive language? Like, he even wants them to be talking that way. I'm taking the Rams. I know Russell Wilson. I am a fan, but I do think the Rams can score against Seattle, and we've seen it the last 3 times they've played. The Sean McVay versus Pete Carroll matchup, and I do think this team's going to play better down the stretch, and the Rams win.
Tennessee
I'm glad
is
we got that in.
by 2 on the road.
I love it.
What does the model say?
Model says 3. Titans 24.
Wow.
Raiders 21.
Okay, I like the Titans, man. Again, and late in the season, I'm always going to err on the side of quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill playing lights out, 5-1, one of the highest QBRs in the league. They keep it going this week in Oakland. What do you got, G?
Offensive coordinator? Arthur Smith, isn't that his name? Perfect. Arthur Smith, maybe he needs a job.
To me, forget 3, maybe more like 33. I feel like this is a mismatch. It's one team playing great and one team that is struggling.
It just needs to be 2.
All right, well, the Bucks are favored by 3 in this one. Cynthia, what's the model say?
The Bucks by a little bit more than 3, 4.
Yeah?
27-23. A nice, steady win.
I'm with you. I like the Bucks to win this game. Like, I don't know if it means the Bucks coaching staff has done a good job developing these guys, or whether they should be better than 5-7, because I think they're a really talented team. I think it's showing up now.
Coaching staff, they have someone from Okubis on their coaching staff, my hometown. It's a very small hometown, so this is a big deal for us. Yes.
All right, so I think the Bucks have done well too. I don't think they're going to win this game. I think Jameis Winston goes back to the bad Jameis, and the Colts get the W.
Bruce Arians didn't commit to it.
He didn't, of course. He's seen him in practice. All right, let's get to some quick picks. We start with the Steelers versus the Cardinals in Arizona. A lot of birds going on here. Hawks teeing up.
Hawk.
Duck versus the Cardinals.
Hawks
It's
going
a big
third
deal.
person. You know it's a good part of the show.
You know we're into it. All right, the Steelers are favored by 3. Cynthia, what's the model say?
Steelers 21-20 because of their defense.
Steelers, okay.
Duck, duck.
I'm
Cardinals.
going with the Cardinals. I know people aren't excited about what they seen last week, but I think they have a bounce back game. They're one of those teams that play great, then bad, then great. I think the Steelers are caught sleeping this week.
Wow, I think the Steelers win this game, maybe going away, top 3 or 4 defenses in the league. I think Duck Hodges is a pretty big upgrade at quarterback. I really do.
I like it. All right, the Bengals and Browns game, the Hawk Bowl.
Hey, Hawk Bowl.
Browns 8.5 points favorites. They're hosting
Wow.
the Bengals. Which Hawk? Are you okay? Like, what are we gonna do here?
This is always a thing every single year. Is the
Hawk
Hawk Bowl. And
Twice a year we have it.
It's tough. I don't even know if I'm gonna make my pick today.
Come on, don't be that guy.
abstaining?
Okay, I'm gonna pick the Browns.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna pick the Browns. Yeah.
What do you have?
I've got the Bengals winning this game.
Oh.
I mean, I know they're 8.5 point favorite. We're talking about Red Rifle 2.0, like unwrap him for Christmas. This is a different Andy Dalton. Forget it. I haven't felt
don't
as good
mind
about
it.
a pick all year as the
Really?
Bengals. At least in terms of they're this big an underdog, I don't believe that.
I'm gonna unwrap Andy Dalton for Christmas. That's gonna be amazing. I have the Browns winning 26-17, and a great visual in my head.
Okay, another division game that probably doesn't really matter for the playoffs. Falcons, Panthers. Falcons
doesn't.
favored by 2.5 at home. What does the model say?
The model says in this one, Panthers pull off the upset, 25-24. New coach, Christian McCaffrey, just go with what works, play the hits for the Panthers.
I'm going with the Falcons, actually, because I think the official show of actually, I think that the Panthers team is going to be a little demoralized losing their coach, Robert Bear. They loved him.
it's the opposite.
And
I know they
I've
love
been
him.
a part of a lot of teams where coaches have gotten fired. And what happens is when the team is happy, they typically play up. And when the team is sad, they typically play down. So I'm going with the Falcons over the Panthers.
Well, plus they just lost to the Redskins at
Yeah,
home.
they're not
I've got
playing very
the
well as
Falcons
well.
winning this game, and they're getting healthier. Julio Jones should be back. Austin Hooper might be back, like Atlanta.
All right, well,
Great.
next, the Texans coming off of a big win against the Pats. There are 9-point favorites over the Broncos. Cynthia, what does the model say?
Texans 24-17.
I like the Texans too. I think the Broncos showed promise last week, but not as much promise as Deshaun Watson. The Texans, their running backs are getting better as the season goes on.
Denver's done a good job all year keeping games close, but I think that ends this week. I think the Texans win comfortably. Drew Lock, he doesn't look ready to be involved in a game like this against a quality team.
Right.
Okay, so I have now from the Hawk Bowl to the Adam Gase Bowl. The
Ooh.
Dolphins at the Jets.
Not as much juice in that.
It's not as much intrigue or excitement. New York is a 6-point favorite over Miami at home. This time it's in New York, New Jersey, East Rutherford. What do you have, Greg?
I have the Jets winning because as good as the Dolphins have been on offense in terms of their improvement, the defense is still the worst defense in the league. So I think Sam Darnold has a nice day.
Yeah, I think the Jets bounce back. They got caught sleeping against an 0-for team against Cincinnati. I think they wake up a little bit and they play the Miami Dolphins and they get a bounce back win.
My model loves Jamal Adams, and my model doesn't think Jamal Adams is playing. So I have 24-19, a closer win, but the Jets still pull it off. But they need, where has their team been? CJ Mosley, IR. Jamal Adams, probably not playing.
Yeah.
Lev Bell was even sick today at practice.
I mean, where are the real Eagles? Can they show up? They're playing on Monday Night Football this week against the Giants. The Eagles are favored by in this game by 8.5.
It's a big one.
That is big.
It's actually up
What
to
does the model
9.5
say?
now. It's up to 9.5 with Eli Manning.
So what do you think?
The model says 26-21, keeps it close.
Okay.
Eli Manning, the model breaker.
So you
Keeps it
think the model thinks Eli helps?
The model thinks Eli helps because Eli and Saquon, we have some better relationship data in terms of fewer fumbles, fewer transitional problems between the two of them. That's a big deal in this one. Eagles still win, but it's
closer.
a little closer.
I like the Eagles as well. I mean, the Eagles have been the most disappointing team to me this season because I came in thinking how talented their roster was, and they have not lived up to that. I know a lot of issues outside of that, but I still think they win this one. I think it's closer than what the 9.5-point favorite.
I do too. I think the Eagles have shown they can turn any game into a mess. So this is going to be close in the fourth quarter, but the Eagles win.
Greg, what's the chances you think in your head that both the Bears knock off the Cowboys today and the Eagles get beat by the Giants so that we still have the NFC East up for grabs?
That would be fun. I know the Eli truthers are going to be out in full force on Twitter if they win this game.
All right, well, here's some more game picks for this week. We are pretty
Look at us.
aligned with the
What a
model.
happy family we are.
Check that out.
No respect for the Jaguars.
No
Oh,
respect for the
man.
Lions.
Which
oh, wait.
the Jaguars
Which
haven't
is warranted.
haven't played a game within 3 scores since before they went to London.
That's
You hate to see it.
great.